Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction to Boku no Hero Academia chapters 365, 366, and 367. Again, I mentioned this in my marriage toxin video. I don't want to jinx it, but I am going to be trying to do these weekly. I'm going to do it on Thursdays, going to do 3 chapters. Unless there's like a really long one, then I might be like, okay, might have to hold it to 2 this week. But I'm going to try to do 3 every Thursday until we get caught up. Once we get caught up, I actually don't know. I actually don't know what I intend to do at that stage. If I want to do it like Sundays when they come out, or if I want to just wait and continue to keep it on this same day. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Either way, I have been rewatching the anime, and once I catch up to that, I want to reread the manga after the anime. I've been really into Hero Academia again recently, which makes me excited to read these chapters. Where we left off was an interesting point where Dabi is cool. Dabi's still up. Dabi's still moving. Friggin' All For One is getting Benjamin buttoned. At least that's the way I read it, is that he's like, if I do this, it means I die, but it also means I go back to peak. The way I read it is that he is like stuck getting reversed from now on, so he is Benjamin buttoning, is the way that I assume it works, just from Eddie's quirk and all. But it also makes me think, I guess they only made one, but it's like, if he can just do that, like, couldn't the heroes, they have Eddie, couldn't they just have Eddie rewind All Might to like back to peak All Might? That feels like cheating. That feels really cheap, but it's like, since we've seen that that's the way the quirk works, you can rewind Mirio to get his quirk factor back. Can't we just rewind? Like, can't we rewind everyone to their fully healed states? Like Miriko, Aizawa, can't we just bring them all back? I mean, that would be too OP, but it's like, in the future, potentially, when Eddie's like an adult, couldn't she just do that? Isn't that kind of series breaking? Then again, we have so many things that are kind of series breaking. Like, if the dumbest character in the series wasn't Overhaul, like Chisaki, if he wasn't brain dead, like, looking at what other characters can do with their quirks, you would think that Chisaki could basically be a god, like with his quirk. His quirk could give him god status, but it just feels like he's like too dumb to use it to be a god. Like, his quirk is like completely overpowered at face value. Yeah, that's one thing I was thinking too, because also, on the third stage of things, Bakugo's heart got messed up. He did basically, quote-unquote, die. But the way that we're bringing him back is him getting put back together by Edshot, and I think that makes sense. It's a heroic sacrifice. We've seen Edshot messing around inside of people's bodies. It adds weight to what happened with Bakugo, but it would be a weird death if he did like actually permanently die in that place. And also it carries on the series' themes of having the heroes do this heroic sacrifice, and even the villains doing heroic sacrifices for the future. So it does continue on that sort of same thing that the series has been preaching all along. The only thing that I found weird is I was like, technically it's like, how are you going to become his heart? Because your quirk is to stretch yourself out. So it's like, even if you stretch yourself out to replace the heart, what happens when you die? Or if Bakugo dies, can you just come back out and be yourself again? But we're getting, like, I clicked on to chapter 365, and the first thing I see is like a quirk explanation box. So I haven't read it yet, obviously, but it seems like we're going to get an explanation for that now. I was totally on board, but then I was like, again, rewatching the anime, I'm like, wait, given how we know that his quirk works, like, does this actually make sense? But I was, again, like copium, I was like, yeah, he could just like weave his heart back together and like tear off parts of his own body to replace and stitch up what he needs to. So I was like, yeah, it makes sense that he could sacrifice himself and do this. But I think we're going to get an actual explanation for it here, so long intro over, let's start reading 365. We're starting off with Edshot's quirk. Fold the body. It allows him to stretch out his body, making it thin and spindly. After years devoted to training his quirk, he can now make his body even thinner, and squeeze it tight enough to stop gushing blood. As thin as a spider's thread. Wash was good enough to give me one of his bubbles with this. I shall sterilize my own body. Okay, with this I shall sterilize my own body before infiltrating the boy's innards. And we see it looks like his heart stitched up. Seems like there's stitches there. He can stretch out his body as thin as a surgical suture. However, Genus did his best to suture this, but he couldn't stop the bleeding or repair all the internal damage. Okay, the things are from Genus already working on him. Genus is so cool. And we have number 365, number 4, and number 5. His lungs are also injured. This body of mine can mend each organ inside and out, while aiding cardiopulmonary function. I shall revive his heart and lungs from the inside. Keep fighting, Genus, Mirko. The villain's wounds show that your efforts are not in vain. Win the day, regain consciousness, come back to life. Remaining in this extreme state slowly but surely eats away at Edshot's life. Okay, so I like this. We're getting, like, he's basically doing, like, extreme precision surgery to bring Bakugo back to life. He's basically doing life support and extreme precision surgery, and that's how it's working. And it also makes sense how this is a sacrifice, because doing so, like, would honestly kill him, because it's similar to Mirio, where Mirio's like, I can't actually breathe or see or any of my bodily functions while I'm using my quirk. So it makes sense that if his body is stretched out this thin, it's similar to Mirio, where it's like, he can't actually, like, do normal bodily functions like that. That one? I already destroyed that one. Why not destroy everything? And he's thinking about all the students, society, happiness. I gotta destroy. Must stop the itch. Already destroyed that one. And he's swinging the giant mass of flesh arm. We have Mirko rushing in front again. Again, just basically missing all her limbs at this point. You're that eager to get crunched. What did you say? And it seems like, is that she sacrifices letting her other arm get crunched off in order to land a kick. What the? Did I just stagger a little? With this body, that's not possible. I haven't felt real damage. No, wait. Mirko? What gives, huh? You're so gentle, Mr. Demon Lord. And she's still charging ahead. Assisted by it looks like Genus pulling with ropes and closing off the wound. That last hit I took. And he thinks about what happened. And we have Mirio coming in. It looks like Mirio coming in from the front to block his vision, while Mirko attacks from the side. Eyes on me, chump. I'll die when it's my time to go. That did sting a little. Or have I taken on too much damage? No, none of it's been that bad. In which case, impossible. When I panicked back there, was I actually feeling threatened? Me? Menaced by some background extra. And then I love that, because Bakugo's the one who always calls people extras. He told me to win, so I'm here to make good on that. Mirko, do not go quietly. I ain't about to check out from the game game of life with regrets left on the table. Luna, rush. And she's able to get a full strike out on Shigaraki. And we have all of the heroes and his consciousness with Tenko inside, even though I already destroyed them. And then he sees his family intercut with all the heroes. I wasn't broken back then, but it's not like anybody reached out a helping hand to me. The more my body adapts to the legion of stockpiled quirks within, along with the various environmental factors, my body's searching, groping around for its ideal form. It's not like anybody would even look at me. Oh, and it's like his family that went away in the vision before are now forming again out of the flesh. This is so interesting. Shigaraki is such an interesting character, in the way that Horikoshi decided to write him in such an avant-garde way, with like his spirit fighting with One for All or All for One spirit, and like the two melding and unmelding, and like sort of where does the line get drawn between them. Like, it's all very, very good. Shigaraki's an incredibly good character. But, you know, there's a lot to discuss here. I think the Edgeshot stuff is great. I really love Mirako, so of course I think the Mirako stuff is great. I find this so interesting. And the heroes, again, one thing I love about Hero Academia, characters do die, which is unlike some other shonen, but like most shonen, like occasionally they will. Hero Academia, occasionally they will. But what I love is that I'm fine with keeping characters alive, but Hero Academia is great at, even when characters survive, they like Aizawa coming out of every arc where he's involved is like missing more body parts, basically. Midoriya coming out of every arc is like way more beaten and scarred permanently. Ida has long-lasting permanent injuries. Endeavor is permanently scarred. All Might has permanent injuries. Mirako has lost limbs. Like, I like that every arc has stakes, because even when these characters survive, Best Jeanist as well, even when these characters survive, characters in My Hero Academia come out of each arc to the next arc with actual lasting repercussions, which I think is really, really awesome. But yeah, that was kind of a long discussion for this chapter. I think we should go ahead and read the next one since we get to do 2 more. Alright, on to chapter 366, Full Moon. Tomura Shigaraki's body was groping around for its optimal form. We have narrator boxes. That optimal form seemed to be a bloated mass of fingers, forever, seeking destruction, a form that overwhelmed the world around him and kept everyone at arm's reach. But the heroes bested that form. Thanks to erasure, he couldn't heal the accumulating damage to his body. That, plus the stress and panic afflicting his mind, gnawed away at his presence. This is so cool. And his body turned into a new ideal form. And again, we have the hands grasping all over his body, almost similar to the way the hands were grasping all over him at the beginning of the series. And his one hand, the fingers of it form into his family. For this particular moment, heat this and die. We have Mirako coming in. Mirako is so much like Bakugo. And then, is this her getting knocked away? Yeah, it is. And we have Togata yelling out. And he yells smash, it seems like, as he does it. Mirako? Unless that's just a sound effect. I think that's Shigaraki yelling smash. And we have Nejire coming in. No, knock it off! And it looks like he knocks up rubble to stop her from getting closer. I now know that you have nothing. On my own, I'm not even worth his time. Damn it. You don't get to fix what I already broke. And Jeanist is coming in. Jeanist is so cool. That's clearly a defensive form, one that rejects everything. That's the conclusion you've come to, isn't it? Medio sinks back down, and we have the threads reaching all around. Medio comes back out from the back, but it seems like the threads are all being torn through. And then we see Sun Eater down, Nejire down, and then Mirako crashed into a tree. Damn it, is this it? Is this really? And he thinks back to Night Eye. You'll make a fine hero for the future. You'll make a fine hero. The future you saw for me, Night Eye. Drop the electromagnetic barrier. Just 2 seconds. Keep him busy for just 2 seconds. So, again, we still don't know what Izuku saw. Like, what's going to happen with Izuku here? Like, drop the electromagnetic barrier just for a moment. Just 2 seconds. Keep him busy for just 2 seconds. What? Why? No, wait. 2 seconds is an eternity, and he's looming over Jeanist. What can I do? That you have nothing. Ignoring me. No, hang on right now. I need to keep his attention on me. But how? What do I even have in my arsenal? So, keep smiling. A world without smiles and humor has no full moon rising tonight, and he's crying as he holds his butt out as a distraction. Bright future. And then, yes, we have, holy shit, I got chills. Izuku coming in with Black Whip. Huh? And it's insane. So, we have this fleet. Okay, this fleet of ships looks like what he saw. Is this America coming in to help as well? Because remember, we just had the thing last read through with Admiral Akbar. or Agpar or whatever. And then they meet, or they lock eyes. Smash! Izuku is able to like pummel through him. And that's where we end. Incredible. We're finally getting to the main villain and main, well, I guess main villain and main character fight. But again, we know this can't end before all the other like side fights and everything do. Insanity. Such a good chapter. This is nuts. This is nuts. Oh man, I gotta read the next one. I am gonna dread having to wait a week for the next video. Incredible. That's so good. That's so good, and I wonder if we'll stick with this or if we'll cut to any of the other fights. Hero Academia is good. I was thinking this to myself. People are going to hate me for this opinion, because people like to clown on my hero. People are going to hate me for this opinion. It might... Again, I grew up with the Big Three. Big Three happened. I was reading, watching them weekly when I was in my teenage years. My hero might be better than, I mean, at least one of them. It's probably better, like, so here's the thing. I gotta say, it's probably definitely better than Naruto, because I feel like Naruto has some high highs, but I don't know if any of the other big long-running shonen have the low lows of Naruto. And I think Hero Academia, the high highs are up there, if not plus ultra surpassing Naruto's. So I think it easily beats Naruto, easily. When I compare it to Bleach, I will say the same thing about One Piece and Naruto that I say to Bleach. Bleach, I think, is much more consistent than Hero Academia or any of the big three. It's consistently solid, but Bleach, I mean, you tell me what are the highs with Bleach, I can't really think of much. When you tell me to think of the lows of Bleach, I think of a lot towards the end. But other than that, there aren't really any like colossal lows. But like One Piece, Naruto, My Hero Academia all have much higher highs than Bleach, but they also have lower lows than Bleach. Hero Academia doesn't have many low lows though. The only low I can really think of in Hero Academia is the joint training arc. And even with the joint training arc, the first round's good, second round's good, third round's mostly good, fourth round sucks, but then the fifth round is again mostly good once again, with the exception that the ending was not very good. But like that's the low, and it's not even really that low. And then One Piece, again, One Piece has insanely high highs. I don't know if Hero Academia stands up to the highs of One Piece, but One Piece also has Wano, which is an extremely low low, much lower than any of Hero Academia's lows. So again, Hero Academia is just really, 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 really solid. But again, people are going to hate me for that opinion probably. Either way, let's move on to 367 to end this out. Holy shit, I had to immediately hit record again because I need you to get my like full first like look at this. We got a color spread. I think so. We got a color spread, and I noticed Toga's there. Oh, but no, Minetta's there. I was gonna say, is this a popularity poll one? Because we get the popularity poll color spreads, but no, this is this must be like alt universe. Everybody is friends, because it's such a weird mix of characters. It says anime season 6. Okay, so it's for the anime. In the bottom left there. Yeah, it's like I was gonna say it's such a weird mix of characters that I figured it'd be a character poll one, but no, it's just like an anime hyping one. Yeah, we got Hawks and Twice and Dabi there. Mirako looks amazing. I think that's supposed to be Uraraka, but her hair is like oddly red here. And Himiko Toga, Aizawa, of course. Denki, which I'll admit to you. Hold on. What is the weird penis shape? Did they draw that in as a joke beside Denji's knee? But Kirishima, one of my absolute favorite characters. Yeah, I thought popularity poll, then I saw Mineta, and I was like, no way. Mineta's weirdly popular for some people, but I feel like most people hate Mineta. Like, definitely not making top of a popularity poll. Yeah, just taking this in. So, I forgot. There was something else I was going to say, but I totally forgot it. Totally lost it. Oh, yeah. Denki's popularity is weird to me. Kaminari's, it's a weird popularity to me. I don't know. I don't really get it. I don't feel like he's done much of anything. I mean, he did have that one like villain fight during the like Paranormal Liberation War or whatever, but I don't know. I don't really get it. Um, and then we have okay, so we're seeing what happened when Izuku ran into that fleet. That's the school bus is here, picking up a little lost ally. Grab on, kiddo. I really appreciate it. Yeah, you better. We're supposed to be guarding the skies around UA. Right, sorry about this. Make this worth the effort. See, we ignored our orders to go home and opted to stick around in Japan. You know why? 'Cause our gal wagered it on you folks. And 'cause you inherited All Might's power. That's why I thought it was America too last chapter, because we just got the scene with Agpar. But also because the ships look the same as the one that we're with, Star and Stripe. Go on. Use us as stepping stones to reach history's nastiest villain and kick his butt. He's a Kumadoria! Smash! And he crashes through him like we saw at the end of last chapter. Mirio smiles. Has he gotten stronger? That glowing energy. I've seen it before. Oh, is this going to be... Is it going to be the one dude's quirk? Or is this the one we already know about where he stores up attacks? I don't remember. And then, again, I really need to reread badly. He crashes through, destroying everything in his wake, and crashing into the other side of the cage. Midori is in the cage. So sorry I'm late. Are you all right? And he sees Bakugo on the ground. And then we have his reaction in Best Jeanist. Nejire down. Same with Mirako and Sun Eater Tamaki. You got some excuse for being late? I'm guessing it was Toga's doing, right, Izuku Midoriya? Go ahead, make that excuse. There was nothing I could do. I never saw it coming. Go on, be my guest. Run from responsibility, just like they did. And then we have full, quirks flying out of him, Izuku. When you stoke this one's anger, his moves get pathetically simplistic. I'll counter his next attack and crack his spine. And this is, mentally, it sounds like All for One. Admit it, you love the present I got you, right? Yeah, this definitely sounds more like All for One than Shigaraki speaking. It's gonna be okay, Deku. Him again. I get the feeling, like you'll never live this down. But that's falling right into this villain's trap. I get it, you're feeling like you'll never live this down, but that's falling right into this villain's trap. It's okay, Tamaki and them are still kicking. Right now Edshot is trying to save Bakugo's life. I know he's gonna pull it off. I'm still fighting because I have faith. Get it? We haven't lost anyone yet. Nobody's given up. And we're saying, Manuel's so cool. Imagine Manuel getting all these, big chances to be involved in stuff. We have, Manuel, Monoma, and Aizawa here. The endless sanctimony, the empty talk, all to avoid facing facts and reality. Listen, if we're heroes, and if heroes don't talk the talk, then who else is going to transform ideals into reality? And then flashback to All Might. Think this is all for the cameras. Think what you want. In your job, you risk your life and put your money where your mouth is. 'Cause our gal wagered it all on you folks. It's okay to get mad. What really matters is controlling your heart, and he's thinking about Lariat. And then we have the burst of Black Whip. Sorry about that, Lemillion. Save your sorries until after we win this, hero. All for One. Is Shigaraki still in there? And we have the vestiges of everyone behind him. I love that, asking if Shigaraki's still in there. God, it's so good. And we only see 6 of them right now. We don't see, it looks like, so the energy coming off was that one user. We don't see the original or All Might, it looks like. Man. I'm so excited. I need to go again in the next week, continue my rewatch/reread. Man. Hero Academia, it's like the meme, One Piece is so good this week. Hero Academia is so good. I'm so excited to see where it goes from here. We still have so many chapters left. What is left to get to? Man, This is nuts. We still have to deal with Dobby and with the main original Benjamin Button offer one. Oh man, insane. Insane. This is so cool. And of course, I'm reading Hero Academia. You can't even see the figures behind me. Or like, okay, so just on these shelves behind me, I've got a Deku All for One and Stain figure. So I have 3 there. And there's another bookshelf that's like behind my recording setup. With a bunch of like manga and all my video games and stuff on it. So the one that's in like light novels and stuff, the bookshelf that's behind my recording setup, I've got a Todoroki figure, Aoyama, Yoarashi, Fat Gum, and Jiro, which is like, okay, so I do have Endeavor and Fat Gum, 2 of my favorite characters. I still don't have, and I got Tsuyu back there, or Tsuyu. Yeah, Tsuyu's back there. And Endeavor. I have a Tsuyu and Endeavor one behind me as well. So I have Endeavor, one of my favorites. Kirishima's been one of my favorite characters since the beginning. I still need to get a Kirishima figure. So yeah, honestly, given that I only have 2, I have the Carrot from One Piece back there, and I have a Perona one back on another bookshelf even further behind me. So I only have 2 from One Piece. I have a lot more Hero Academia stuff. Yeah, I need a Kirishima one. But yeah, I love Stain. All for One's awesome. I need Shigaraki as well. I don't have Shigaraki or Aizawa. But yeah, either way, random aside, I love this series. I hope I didn't seem too down on it recently, but I love this series, and I think the rewatch and reread is like really just reminding me how much I love it. I've covered it from chapter 1 from the very beginning right here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, though. Thank you so much. It's good to be back after such a long hiatus from it as well. I guess it just took some time to get back into the flow of things. But either way, thank you so very much. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of my first thoughts and reaction to these 3 chapters. What are your thoughts on them? If you want to talk on Twitter, we can talk there. If you want to talk on Discord, we can talk there. Ask and I can give you a link to the server. It is free and open for anyone. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can drop a super thanks down below, and it would be very much very much appreciated. It would really help me continue making videos and everything. But if you want to get something more out of it, if you want to get One Piece early, become a patron or channel member, and you also get a shout out at the end of videos. So One Piece I'm posting as soon as the scans come out for patrons and channel members, or as soon as I can after the scans come out. The past 2 times they've come out at like midnight Wednesday for me, so I've just had to do it Thursday morning because it's so late. But yeah, you get that early, and then I make it public for everybody on Sunday when the official translation comes out. Sorry, hiccup. Jeez, oof. But also, like I said, you get that early, and you get shoutouts at the end. Thank you to people who are patrons and members. Chosen Regular, Evan Hawley, Magical Girls, FR Nono, Harbian and Smeller Dog, Cherryton Student, David Langstaff, and Slayer Candidate SG. Probably should have said go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or hit join down below to become a member. Should have probably said that at the very beginning of that thing. But yeah, if you want to, you get shout outs here. Huge thank you to everyone here who is already a patron and member. Huge shout out and thank you to all of you for watching. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you all next time.